Hello, and welcome to the House of Hyjinx podcast, where the podcast where I'm talking to people you know or people you should know. I am your host, the real Hyjinx, and again, I want to thank you for tuning in. Remember, you can follow me and get all my interviews and everything I'm doing right there on our page, the Dirty Angel Entertainment. You see it right there on the bottom of your screen. So make sure you go and follow us on YouTube to keep up with that. Thank you so much. And also, before we get started, I want to give a shout out to my sponsor. Today, my sponsor is Dirty Angel Entertainment, the best management and booking agency in the Northwest, doing their thing since 2012 and doing it for much longer. Shout out to the CEO, Courtney Collins, DJ Wild Child, for being the sponsor today. Love you and thank you so much. Yo, you know what? I'm not going to do a lot of talking today. I want to get directly into this interview. I am super stoked to have the gentleman that I have on today. First time I heard his music, I was just enamored. And the fact that he even came on to this show to do this with me is like amazing. I can't even tell y'all how hype I am right now. Well, without no further ado, my man all the way from Wichita, Kansas, one of the illest lyricists in the game. If you haven't heard of him, you need to make sure you check this dude out. I promise you, it's not a lit down, guaranteed cut after cut. This is my man. So glad he could be here today. Please show your love for my guy, Mr. Samuel David. What's up with you, man?
What's good with you, fam? I feel like I should have clapped for that intro. That was fire. That was flame. I appreciate that. That's love right there.
Yo, man, this is, you don't understand. Like right now, I told you before, I am standing. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Like I am such a fan of yours, man. Your music is unbelievable. And it's like I said, from your first album, from the first time I heard you, like I said, it was on Bitch, I Feel Amazing. And I was just like, this spitting bars, like just bars. And I was like, and I remember because I hit you up because me and my wife was doing a radio show called Portland versus Everybody. And I was like, yo, I want to use this track to go against a local Portland artist and play it on the radio. And you sent me the track and I was like, yo, he actually responded. So like, I was like, yo, this is dope. He actually hit me back. You know what I'm saying? So because you don't really get that too often. So thanks for that in the beginning. Yo, first off, let's start off. Introduce yourself, tell the world who you are, and tell them who you are, man.
Yeah, for sure. Samuel David. I'm everything God made me to be, man. I'm a family man. I'm a husband. I'm a son. I'm an uncle. Got a lot of nieces and nephews in real life, man. I'm big on family, man. I'm a hip hop artist, producer, engineer, curator of culture. Mental health enthusiast, diversity and inclusion enthusiast, man. All of that, man. A Virgo to the core. I criticize and critique every single thing I see and touch. It's
not a Virgo.
But yeah, man.
I'm a Scorpio, man. We're gonna have issues, man.
It's all love. It's all love.
Right. So, man, one thing that really I love about your music, you are so family oriented, man. Like you always, family is first with everything that you put out, man. And I love that. What made you like write like that? Because a lot of people don't write from the experience of family, or if it is, it's always the streets and I was thugging and I was shooting. Like what made you pursue it? I mean, go after like in that way, like the way you write it, the way you attack it. What made you do it like that?
Well, no, that's a great question, man. I get to ask that a lot. You know, really, it's real life. You know, I'm an MC at the core. I came up, you know, studying hip hop, and one thing that I've always loved is the different perspective that different folks offer and provide. And one thing, as I've matured in life, that I recognized is missing is that true, that expression of the family unit inside of the most beloved culture and piece of art, right? Rap music is loved by all nations, all folks across the country. I think weed might be the only thing that's close, right?
right.
But I'm like, yo, if I got this voice and folks is listening, why not big up my family, the Black family, and show folks what it really could look like? And I like to rap my real life, my perspective of life. And so, you know, why not rap about my beautiful wife, my kids, my mother, whatever comes here, that's real. So
yeah, man. That's one of the things I respect you as a person. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Like you're a prominent father, you're a prominent husband. Like it's put forth. Like you don't hide it and you don't try to
100.
portray something else. I love that about you, man. Like that's
I appreciate
man,
it.
like it's just amazing. Now, how long have you actually been in the game? How long have you actually been doing music?
Man, since middle school, middle school, high school battles and things like that.
Right.
But as far as like really sitting in the studio, recording some songs, making it count,
Hmm.
distributing them out like that, since 2012.
Okay.
Right, is when I dropped my first project available on streaming services. I call it a mixtape, Clean Mess. It was just a collection of various thoughts. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Now
But
we're
my
gonna make
first,
sure I plug all of this at the end. I'm gonna make
yes,
sure.
indeed, that's fair.
Correct.
That's love right there. My first official album, though,
Hmm.
was called Grammy Night. Right, and that one came out 2015. That's
Okay.
I sat and put a theme behind it, and that's when I really, really, really took this thing to that level. And even of course I can't miss, some of the local classics I got here in my hometown of Wichita,
Hmm.
Kansas. I did 87 with my man Steele, YBM Steele, free him. He's locked
Okay.
up currently. Um, and just various mixtapes. But yeah, since 2012, I'd say.
That's dope, man. And another thing, like Wichita is not one of the places you would go looking for, you know what I'm saying? I mean, hip
Yeah,
hop can be anywhere, but when you think of hip hop, you usually think of your LA, your
yeah,
Florida. I mean, not Florida, but Georgia, New York. So to come out of Wichita, like, what's it like to me, like, I don't know a lot of Wichita artists. Like, I'm not
yeah,
going to sit here and act like I do,
yeah,
but to me, you're the most dominant one coming out. What's
wow.
it like to like lead the path coming out of Wichita?
Man, that's a major salutation first and foremost. I got to shout out my brother XV. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Twine Sack as well. But XV was one of the first ones from our town that
Mhm.
record label deal Warner Brothers. He was on NBA 2K, Verizon commercials. He got joints with Kendrick Lamar, Pusha T,
Okay.
Bun B. He really showed the town what it was like from that level. And I say coming from Wichita, every state you mentioned, we are in the middle of the map, so we draw so much inspiration from all over there. So it's no true defined sound. But there's so many dope artists, man. Hyjinx, I'm telling you, I could take your whole podcast up if I got to name dropping, the folks from my town that really put in work. You know what I
Well,
mean?
I want their names because I want to listen to
Yeah,
all of it. So make
yes
sure before we
indeed.
get off here, we're gonna get a lot of information taken care of, man.
One
Because I
hundred
want to check
percent.
them out, man. I definitely want to push. Now, what was when you got into the game and you started doing your music? What was your first major venue that you remember, like
Mm,
rocking? Like you look out, like, yo, this place is fucking packed. Like, what was your
yeah.
first memory? Your best, like this is it, man. Like, what was your first venue you rocked?
That's a tricky question here in the middle of the map, man. We get a lot. These local venues, not a lot of folks show up.
Right.
But one that definitely draws to mind, we got a spot called the Cotillion Ballroom out here in Wichita, man, and
Hmm.
I had the pleasure of opening up for Big Crit.
Oh yeah.
And it was a very dope experience and situation, man. That was one where I was like, yo, this is a vibe, this is a situation. Um, but even if I'm not looking at big joints, right? If I'm looking at
Mhm.
just some of the smaller venues that I've played, the love is crazy in there. I mean, it could
Right.
be 10, 15, 30, 500, whatever. The love is felt. And so, like, Eagles Lodge, man, Rock Island is one of the heavy spots we got here, Barley Corns.
Hmm.
We got a few areas and situations that definitely show love. But the Cotillion Ballroom with Big Crit was one that I was like, this is crazy right now.
That's the one you look back on like, yo, I can't believe I'm sharing the stage with this dude. Like, yeah.
100,
So,
100%.
so what do you prefer? Like, if you had your choice out of a big stadium, packed stadium, or a small, quaint crowd of 50, which one would you prefer to perform in front of?
Man, it varies. I prefer the smaller venues, that intimate
Hmm.
vibe. You know what I'm saying? Because my lyrics is I'm slow flow. You know what I'm saying? You got to
Right.
keep up with it, and I don't want to go over too many heads, but I want people to also feel it. And I'm not the turn up guy, right? I want to
Right.
give you these isms, this sound advice, and so those smaller venues definitely make it easier to reach spirits in that respect.
That's dope, man. Like your shit, like I said, your album, it's a whole vibe, man. Like I can't wait to see you live. Like I really honestly
Word.
can't wait to see you live, man. So like I said, and then what I want to know is like when you got into, who were some of your influences in the music
Yeah.
game that was you was like, not you mimic, but you saw what they did and was like, yo, I can do it that way, but better. You know what I mean?
Word,
You know what I'm
100,
saying?
100.
Who were some of your like your inspirations in the music game?
Man, from Jay-Z, first and foremost, like that's been my favorite artist. I don't want to just say my favorite artist, my favorite inspiration, right? Since
Okay.
Reasonable Doubt, Ice Cube, right? I really Fabulous, Mace, you know what I'm saying,
Ooh,
from the
yeah.
flow and the way that they spit. Um, man, Nas, of course, Biggie. Um,
Man.
even now, like Kendrick Lamar is a big one. J Rock,
Hmm.
Schoolboy Q. I love the TDE move. Um, Rough Riders when they was booming.
Man,
You feel me? Like
man,
I
you right here with it, man. You
you
right
feel
here.
me?
Everything you said, you right here with it.
See, I've been doing it for a minute, Jinx, and so one of my favorite things was the era of rap crews. You know what I'm saying? So Rough
Hmm.
Riders, Cash Money, Murder Inc., Rockefeller, um, the Hit Squad. You know what I'm saying? EPMD,
Oh
like
yeah.
those type of things really moved me as I was coming up as an MC. And now it's more so, like I said, your Kendrick, J. Cole, Big Crit, um,
Hmm.
Freddie Gibbs. Like those are some of the mainstream artists that motivate me.
Right.
Even from the crib, man, the Noise is a hip hop group that I came up on as a young kid. I was in their music video here in town. Man, they had videos on BT Uncut back in the day,
Wow.
and just seeing them was like, yo, that's crazy. This could really be a thing. So yeah,
And that's dope, man. Like, now you was mentioning crews. Like, do you
yeah,
think hip hop is missing the crew aspect? Cause they, like I said, don't nobody do it like Wu Tang, and you know what I'm
yeah,
saying. You know what I'm saying. Wu Tang from the New York. I say the whole Dungeon family from the South. You know what I'm saying. Or
100.
Master P and them. You know the whole No Limit Soldiers. Like, do you think we're missing that aspect of hip hop? Everybody's more dolo
Mm,
solo. Are we? You know, do we need to bring that back? You know what I'm saying. The
word.
crews and.
Man, I think we got a little bit of it. Like you got TDE, you got Dream
Okay.
Chasers with J. Cole, you got
Okay.
Griselda. Them boys is crazy. Um, I think it where hip hop resides,
Uh-huh.
like rapping ass niggas. I can cuss, right? Excuse my language.
Yeah, yeah, you good, you good.
Okay, for sure.
We
But
grown.
rapping
We all
ass
grown
niggas,
on here. Uh-huh.
we all grow, right? But even you got QC and folks like that. But with rapping ass niggas, like there's still that crew because you got iron sharpening iron. But
Right.
I also recognize as the tide has shifted, social media has eliminated. I won't say eliminated, but has bypassed a little bit of the need for that
Hmm.
massive crew. Um, for folks that ain't really in it for the long run. Like
Right.
maybe that's really just trying to catch that quick clout chase. You don't need a crew. You just need a button to push, some dumbest shit to
Right.
do on the internet, and then boom, you take off. So it varies. It definitely varies.
Do you think the internet has made it easier for artists to be seen? Like for me, I'm a
Mm,
comedian. And like when I
word.
started, it was a grind. You had to go to open mics. You had to travel far to do shows, and you had to like bust your ass to be known
Yeah.
in the game. Like now, it's almost like you get in front of a camera, trip. You know what I'm saying? And for me, to me, it takes away from it. It takes away the experience of becoming a
Mhm.
comedian. You know what I'm saying? You need to know what it's like to fall on your face and to have to
Word.
get up and like to eat shit in front of a crowd. I'm like, okay, well, you know, that's just where the internet is like, oh, I messed up, erase. Let's just start over again. You know what I'm saying? So do you think the internet has taken the grind out of it? You know what I mean?
Mm. I feel you 125%. I think what I've seen is it's shifted the way the grind looks. Right?
Okay.
Before you had to hit the pavement and your talent had to speak for it. Like
Right.
your talent spoke before your grind. I think now maybe the grind or the overnight thing might speak more for the talent, but then there's some talent in the clout chase even, right? Like
Right.
like the talent of trying to stay relevant is wild. But I think the days of like truly sharpening your skills,
Hmm.
performing even, right? Like a lot of these cats I see now can't perform for shit. I mean, even
Right.
some cats that hit 2 million views, I don't even be knowing who these artists are. Um, and so then the struggle that I face, J. Cole's Middle Child song, I think said it best, right? Like that's where I feel often as a not necessarily an old head, not a young buck, but a nigga in the middle
Right.
that's like, okay, how do I keep my roots, but also recognize the way this thing is moving now and make sure I don't miss this boat.
Right. You
You
just
know what
want
I
to
mean?
evolve with the times, you know what I'm saying? But at the
That's
same
it.
time, being true to yourself. And if you can do
Yeah.
that, by all means. But a lot of, artists and whatnot get lost. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just they get lost in it, or they take that 15 minutes of fame too far. And now it's like, oh,
Woo.
I'm big shit. And it's like, are you? I mean, you
Are
got
you?
2 million views, but are you really big shit? Like, how many of those views came from your people, and how many of them came from just random motherfuckers just like, yo, this dude is dope. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I, you know, I you know, I so you know what I'm
It's
saying? I'm
tricky.
old school. Yeah,
It's
I'm
tricky.
old school. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Now
So
you mentioned comedy. Comedy's a whole nother beast. Like it's to I think I've seen different kind of I won't say old school feel, but like
mhm,
traditional comedians look at some of the social media cats like you can't do stand up. Right. And I think stand up
right,
is like part of that. It's the holy grail of what's funny. Can you stand in front, like you said earlier, and eat shit? Right. And it's the same with hip hop. Like, can you perform without vocals on your track and make people still feel it? Right. And
right.
make it sure to impact people the same. And it's such a weird conundrum, bro. It's wild.
Yeah. My thing is, like, even as a comedian, I attack everything the same. I have this
Right.
motto that I always say: 5 or 5,000. So it don't
Mm,
matter if it's 5 or 5,000 there. You're gonna get the same me that you would have got whether it's 3 of y'all in here or if this place is packed. I'm
that part.
always going to perform. Like, I'm never going to perform down like, oh, there's not that many people in here, and I'm just going to do enough to load it up. I don't do it like that. Like, I give it my
No.
all every time I step on that stage, man. Because I
Because you
tell
owe, you
people,
owe it to whoever there. If
right,
five
like
niggas
those
showed
people
up,
pay to
hey,
see you, man.
that
Thank
part.
you, man. You're an artist. That's what I like. It's like, you're an artist, man. You get it. You know what I'm saying? And that, if people don't know, I'm actually listening to your album Sound Advice in the background.
Mm,
I was talking about this. This is a beautiful, beautiful album. Like, this
thank
album, like I said, from beginning to end, this album is a vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm old school. I love to listen to albums. I love an album that I can listen to from the opening track to
you.
the ending track. You know what I'm saying? And there's not too many you get like that. It's like, the first song dope, the second song dope. Skip that one. Skip. We back on track.
Yeah,
Your album from beginning to end is a vibe, man. You know what
I
I'm saying?
appreciate that.
And like, I want to ask you about a couple of the tracks that some of them, my favorite, the one that's playing right now, Tiffany Story. This is such a
Word.
deep, deep, like, if you don't, you have to listen to it. Like, this shit
Mhm.
gives me goosebumps when I listen to it because it's
Wow.
so visual. You know what I'm saying? When you was writing that, like, how did you, like, what was your motivation? Did you know somebody that was in this predicament, or you just seen this happen too many times? You're like, yo, I need to put this
Yeah,
shit pen to paper.
man, it's a combination of both, honestly, right?
Hmm.
From being active in the community, right? Seeing different, not just young ladies in those type of situations, but
Right.
also the fellas that allow themselves to put ladies in them situations, right?
Right.
And whether it be homies, the first line was inspired by my barber at the time. I got a partner always beefing with his baby mama. You know what I'm saying? It's constant drama. That's such a real thing. And it's just a combination of different experiences and stories that just gel so well together. And that song was written like 2, 3 years ago, right?
Man.
As it happened, I just didn't have the space to put it out to where it made
Right.
sense until I created the full album.
You
But
know what
it's
I'm
a real
saying?
thing, man, from females being trafficked, you know what I'm saying?
Man.
Falling in line with brothers that may not have a true best interest in heart. You know what I'm saying? Folks having generational trauma that they hold on to, that's passed down to the kids. You know what I mean? And
Man.
that's what I look to gather in that track itself.
And the thing is, you said you wrote it 2 years ago, and the thing is, it still holds well. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
This is a track that ages. You could have did this shit. You could have dropped this 5 years from now, and it still would
Word.
have held well. Like, this is a dope ass track, man. I
I
love this
appreciate that.
shit. Another
Can I tell you
track
a
I want
quick
to talk
secret about that track that a lot of people
about.
don't catch as they listen to the album? The brother I'm talking as the song's going, I'm talking to Jay at the end. That's
Uh-huh.
actually Johnny from the Tic Tac Toe song.
Oh,
So
and I love that. You, man, that's my shit,
yeah,
man. I mean, like, that's dope how it ties in. That is
word.
so dope how it ties in. I'm gonna ask you, and another. Now, this is one of my favorite songs too. Swivel. I
Yeah,
love this track, man. Like, who I don't think I don't know exactly who is YBM Smooth. I don't think I put me on to
YBM
him.
YBM Smooth is a brother from the crib, man. He's one of my favorite artists ever.
Okay.
He's a legend at home, you know what I'm saying? And soon to hit the world in a crazy way. He's a spitter, just crazy bars and real
Okay.
life scenarios and situations that YBM Smooth brings to it, man. He's a good friend of mine, MC, mechanic. I mean, he gets busy, hustler. He's a Virgo as well. But
Oh
YBM
yeah.
Smooth got some shit out there. YBM Smooth. I gotta say it again, YBM Smooth for the listeners. Make sure you gotta check out my dog YBM Smooth, man.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
my
gonna make
guy.
sure I post all their links and everything. Yeah, I love. I mean, like I said, your whole album. It's just like I can't find one bad song. Like I've actually
Word.
quoted a couple of your lines on my Facebook page. Like, yo, I got. I was like, did y'all hear that? That's a bar. Let me just. Oh man, that shit right there. Like it's just like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. Trying to get green like Draymond on a warrior
You
like
feel me?
Draymond. Like man, I'm like,
Yeah.
I was like, did they hear that? You know what I'm saying? Method Man to get this cream. Like I heard all that shit. I was like, yo, this nigga
Yeah.
is you know
And
what I'm saying?
the
Like that.
crazy thing about the album Jinx too, man, is that it was inspired by so many real life situations, right? Like there was I wrote it in a quick spurt. I produced and wrote the whole joint. Like every track's produced, mixed, engineered by me, written by
That's
me.
dope.
But there was quite a few deaths happening at home, man, and it was brothers that shouldn't have lost their life. You know what I'm saying? Robert Jr., RIP to my man, he was murdered over a female, is what they say, right? But I'm just looking at all of these deaths happening. Gang violence is one thing, but when you see, which is a whole nother conversation, but when
Right.
I see my brothers losing their lives that are completely out the way, it sparked this entire album, right? Because I started to think like, yo, what if that happened to me? I'm a family man. I stay out the way. What if I was ever in a scenario or situation where niggas was really coming for me? So you get this whole vibe of an album. That's kind of a disclaimer in a
Right.
certain respect and an experience, but even it wraps with a written will, right? To
Right.
my mother, my wife, and my children. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
deep.
I had to share that because it came from such a real and honest place that sadly was inspired and motivated by death, right? But I
Yeah,
want to put there's also light on the other end of that tunnel.
that's beautiful. That's just you poetic when you speak. Like, goddamn, this motherfucker just don't even mean it, just poetic as fuck like that. Like I said, man, I am like this whole album is just like I said, smoke break, like
Mm.
that's my shit right there, man. I actually had to put that on repeat and roll one up. Like I gotta just listen to this one and just smoke again on this one. Smoke break,
Yes, it did.
sound advice, the spread love. I mean, this whole album. Like, and the thing is, when I listen to this album, like I literally called. I got three boys and a daughter.
Mm.
I got three sons
Word.
and a daughter. You know what I'm saying? The oldest is 24, my youngest, my daughter is 16, about to be 17.
That's
So
dope.
when I heard this album, I literally text each one of them like, "Yo, y'all need to listen to this album. Like,
Wow.
really sit down and listen to this album." And each one of them listened to it and hit me back like, "Yo, Dad, that was a dope ass album." I'm like, "That was dope."
Word.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I love about your music. Like, this is an album I'll call my mother and be like, "Mom,
Mm.
you need to get this motherfucking album.
Wow.
If you don't get it, Grandma, do you got this in your playlist?" Yeah, right behind Kirk Franklin. Make sure you have my man Samuel David sound advice. Like right there. There you go, man. That's
Yeah.
what you need. Like this album is such a beautiful album, man. Like,
Thank you.
you know what I'm saying? Now you like I said, you produced this and everything yourself. If you could work with any producer in the game right now, who would you like to work with? Like, who would you be like? I would love a track from this dude.
Pharrell.
Oh, classic.
Pharrell or Kanye. Pharrell or Kanye. One of those two. And it's just because from what I've seen on video, right,
Mm-hmm.
the interactions that they have with the artists that they're working with is like a true pour in. Like they give their everything, they become whatever they need this artist to become, and they
Right.
coach and develop throughout that process as well. And that's something that I love. Now there's some beat makers, I don't want to say that disrespectfully. There's some newer cats that I hear even now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mike Will's not a newer one, but Mike Will I love to work with.
Right.
The Metro Boomin.
Oh yeah.
Metro Boomin is going crazy and berserk. But I say definitely for my favorite type of listening and liking would
Mm-hmm.
definitely be Pharrell or Kanye. If I can get both them niggas, shit.
And you already got a classic, so you'd have a double classic. That's what I'm talking about. Like, if you could do a collabo with any artist right now, just one track with any artist in the game, who would you like to do a track with?
Man, that's a tricky one. If I just go off the top, I'd say Chance the Rapper.
Okay, I can see that.
I think me and Chance got similar, maybe not similar vibes, but similar voices in the respect, reaching out community-wise, talking family and marriage and things like that. That would be a crazy collab. And the man be busting. He spits.
Yeah, he goes hard.
So,
he goes hard. Great. Okay, I can see that. Now, if you could pack out any venue in the world to perform in, any place that was like, yo, wherever you want to perform, we gonna get that venue for you. Where would you like to perform the most at?
And it's packed out, man. I think it was South Africa. I don't know the name of the venue, but I seen a video of DMX a long time ago.
I think I saw that. I think I know what the one you talked about. He was stop. He did that song and the shit was like. I think I know exactly the video you're talking about.
I'm looking at that globe behind you, and it was from sea to shining sea of people. You feel me?
Yeah, I never thought about that one because most people would have probably said Madison Square Garden or, what I'm saying, something like that. That's, what I'm saying, like you're just ahead of your time, man. I don't think people need to check you out, man. Like people are sleeping on you. I literally watch like the Source Awards and all that shit every year, just hoping that I'm going to see you as a new mean, you shouldn't even get the newest artist because you've been doing it for a while, but I keep waiting to somebody to say your name motherfuckers are stupid. I'll say it right now. If you've never listened to one of your just one, like this Sound Advice should be in everybody's fucking playlist. No doubt.
That's humbling to say the least.
Everybody should listen to this album. I don't care if it's just once. Everybody should listen to this album at least once. And if they can't walk away, like I got something from that album. Like I didn't get how to flip a brick, but I really got something out of that album. You know what I'm saying? And I feel this album like I said, I love this album, man. Like this album is fucking amazing. Like really, it is fucking amazing, man.
That's crazy love.
Yo, man, and I got to come out there. I'm going to get out there. I've never been out to that. I've never been out to Wichita, and I'm trying to get out and do some comedy out your way, man. So if I get out there, man,
come out here, man. We got some funny brothers out here too that'd be crazy for you to link with. Even if you link with them on the social medias, man. My brother Keywan Moses.
Okay.
He's done quite a few different shows with I want to say DC Young Fly opened up for I want to say Mike Epps here in town. Okay. My brother is hilarious. He's a great connect, especially if you talk comedy. Coming out here, getting on stage, making some niggas laugh. Hey, that's the.
I'm gonna get this information. When are you gonna share a lot of information before we get out of here today, man?
Yes,
I'm gonna make sure, because I'm gonna make sure I plug everything, man, and any websites and everything that you got going. All right. So before we get out of here, first off, do you have anything you got coming up? Any concerts? Anything we need to be looking for? You know what I'm saying? Don't, not me, them, because I'm already gonna be on top of it. You don't need to worry about me. But tell the people if you got anything going on out there that they need to keep an eye out for, man.
Man, grand question. No shows currently. Still working on getting some situations situated, especially with COVID. Shift. I won't say shift because it's still dangerous out there, but with things moving a little bit different, definitely looking to get some shows set up. Do got some visuals. So the video, the movie video, music video, whatever you want to call it, for Tom Don't Wait off of Sound Advice will be dropping within the next month. We just wrapped that last week. It's crazy. It's crazy. But that's really the biggest thing we got moving, man. I really been working with another producer, my man Freshmaker. So I'm plotting and planning what a rollout looks like for some more tracks. Just trying to stay working. But the visuals is what I'm focused on now. Sound Advice. Got a few movies we dropping.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be on it. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, once it blow up big, hopefully before you get too big, I can get another interview before, you're like, you got to call my agent now, man. You can't be calling me and shit and thinking you're going to get an interview, man. You can't do it like that no more.
No, it's going to always be love. It's always going to be love.
I appreciate that, man. I'm glad I can say I got in Like when you become big, I don't want people, oh, you just jumping on the bandwagon. Nigga, I've been on this bandwagon when that shit left a long time ago. Been a
100.
fan and will remain a fan. All right, man. Before I let you get out of here, I want to ask you one final question. I like to ask one final question of all my people. Now, you meet somebody that's never heard hip hop music before in their life. You have to give them 3 albums to listen to. Only 3. What are the 3 albums you would tell them to listen to?
The 3 albums I would tell them to listen to, and they've never listened to hip hop ever in life.
Nah, this would be their introduction.
I would say Kanye West Graduation.
That's a good one.
Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
That's a classic.
And To Pimp a Butterfly.
Those are 3 great albums. I can't even argue with none of those choices. Those are dope. I mean, Lauryn Hill. Shit, man. Matter of fact, I was just bumping Kanye's Graduation just the other day. Like, that shit goes hard, man.
Crazy.
Yeah, man. Those are 3 great albums, man. Look, man, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day and sitting down and doing this interview with me. Like I said, you have made my year. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't understand, like, if my wife was, you could ask her, like, I've been, like, I'm telling you, my calendar is just a big ass, it says Samuel David interview. Like, wow. I had this shit marked. I mean, as soon as you said yes, man, I was super excited. I couldn't believe it. I was like, am I getting punked? Like, I'm going to send a link and some other dude going to jump on it. Like, I got you. So
catfished.
Right, man. Like, so I am super stoked. And like I said, I thank you so much for taking the time out of your day and doing this with me. Like, this has been amazing and so much fun. And like I said, this has just been such a wonderful thing. Again, thank you for doing this with me. I'm gonna just close it out. Don't go nowhere because I'm gonna talk to you again. I want to tell.
Hey, I gotta say it on camera too. I appreciate you reaching out, Jinx, to even support what I got moving. You know what I mean? Like, that's a major love. It's humbling and it's love in real life. You know what I'm saying? I don't think too often brothers are able to really exchange that type of true, genuine positivity and love.
Right.
And I appreciate you for this, brother. This is
nothing,
big,
man.
A lot of
thank you, man. Like, really, I can't thank you enough, man. Like I said, fan. I'm standing right now. Like, after I leave here, I'm happy dancing shit. I'm rolling up, happy dancing.
Let's go.
Right on, man. Again, thank you so much. I'm gonna get you off here, but I'm gonna talk to you in a second because I need to get some information for you. I'm just gonna close out the show real quick. But again, thank you so much for joining us. Again, this is my man Samuel David. Thank you again for coming in and being a part of this, man. And I'll holler at you in a second, man.
Most definitely.
All right. Oh, man. Again. That was my man, Samuel David. This was an amazing interview. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and make sure you go and follow me on YouTube on the Dirty Angel Entertainment page. You can catch this interview and much more. So please do that. Again, thank you for tuning in to the House of Hyjinx podcast. I am your host, The Real Hyjinx. Remember, this is the podcast where I'm talking to people you know or people you should know. And I'm out. Thank y'all.